Hello, everybody. Successful partnerships are heralded in many industries, and certainly in entertainment, we can all name partnerships that have been hugely successful. Well, today we're going to look at partnerships in engineering. What is involved? What does it take to make a partnership in engineering really work? Well, I'm very pleased today to have Mr. Martin Keay of Firstco and Mr. Carl Eely of ABB. We're going to talk about the partnership that they've established and what's made it work. So, Martin, first of all, could you tell us a bit about Firstco?
Yeah, sure. So Firstco are a systems engineering company and a systems integrator, if you will. Uh, Been around 26 years, and we consult, design, and deliver communication and control systems in regulated environments such as airport, rail, and data centers. We usually favour more complicated jobs, bigger scale jobs, connecting to more things, and that's sort of our end of the market. In the southeast generally. We do work all over the country.
That's excellent, thank you. So, could you give us a bit about the history of your relationship with ABB?
Sure. In all the time of Firstco trading, we've always allied to manufacturers, and we were always looking for a third one, which is incredibly difficult. There's a lot of competition in PLC and SCADA, which is generally the always we would have. And the problem is, and it is a problem, staff training and staff knowledge. If you do bring in another manufacturer, you've then got to do enough projects to keep everyone's knowledge current, as well as find a client that will accept the other brand or the other manufacturer. And we've been speaking to ABB for some years now, trying to find the right sort of project to bring ABB in, where we can satisfy that, where it's not just one project and gone, where we can build an ongoing relationship and build up a client with an install base, so we can keep our knowledge current, and we can build on that and give some value back to the manufacturer, rather than just we'll buy one project's worth of equipment and then thank you very much. We've been speaking to ABB for some years. We managed to find what we call the Goldilocks job. During COVID, we were asked to quote for a control system at Luke Dart with the implementation of the new people mover out to the airport. Client preference was an alternative manufacturer or not an ABB manufacturer. Their lead time with all the supply chain issues was 52 weeks, which meant the equipment could be delivered 6 months after we'd commissioned the job. So we were able to offer ABB as an alternative. The delivery was very short, as it was. We were quoted 5 weeks for the equipment, and it turned up in 4 weeks, so everybody was delighted with that.
Wow.
Because of the architecture and because of the flexibility of the hardware that we got, we could simplify the system a little bit, which meant a cost reduction for the client. They were very happy. And with the brand name of ABB, the client were very happy to accept an alternative. It wasn't what they thought they wanted originally. They've been very happy with it. We've recently done another upgrade to a new software version on site, and they've also asked us to add extra equipment onto the system and make it even bigger. So the client's been very happy with the system as it was. We were happy because it was a springboard. It was the first project for us with ABB. We've since delivered quite a large data center system, which we've just finished commissioning, and then we're on to the next 4 data centers with an ABB solution. So
Wow.
that's been able to sort of springboard us onto having a repeatable application in power management with an ABB PLC and SCADA solution, which has worked out really well for us. But it's also given ABB the sort of pipeline of work and the pipeline of projects, so we can all benefit from it.
Yeah, that sounds a really good description of how it's operated successfully for both of you. So that really does bring that home. Carl, if I could turn to you. Earlier this year, Firstco became an ABB value provider. What does that mean in practice?
The value provider scheme in ABB across the board is very, very high. We need approved channel partners who are accredited to ABB across the board, so very highly trained, so they can take on projects like Firstco have, and we know we can rely on them to do it 100%. And in these cases, it's a long process. There's a lot of training, which I was involved with Firstco to make sure with all their engineers, their management, and with Martin's help, we plan that out across the board. So today, Firstco in the UK are the first PLC and SCADA specialised value provider that we've got, and we're working very hard with them to do jobs, and also we're looking at other value providers up and down the country.
Okay, so it's quite an important. So it's good that we're bringing this to the fore, this partnership that you've established. Martin, can I ask what that means for Firstco, please?
Yeah, so the commitment from ABB is important because they don't just want to sell us equipment, and lots of manufacturers would be happy just to sell us equipment. ABB, as part of their accreditation, we have to qualify by having a certain number of engineers trained. We have to work to a certain standard, and that's important to us because it means something. When we go to a client with an ABB solution, we are the face of ABB, really, because then the client's got a unified solution. We're qualified and accredited to do it. But from the value provider system gives us more access into ABB, into different departments and different, certainly the engineering department. I mentioned that our projects tend to be larger scale. We connect to more equipment. We push things a bit harder. So that's important to us to be able to get further up the technical support tree, sometimes with maybe obscure applications or just more in-depth applications. And that works really well. Support is as important to us as price to start. A lot of manufacturers, you might call up with a question or a technical problem, and they'll give you a ticket number and they'll ring you back in 3 days. The sort of clients we have, we can't have that. We just can't have that. And by and large, and I think it's fair to say, every time we've done that, we get a response same day. And that's absolutely what we need. With the sort of clients and the sort of jobs, we absolutely depend on that. But the tech support feature of ABB is excellent for that, and we rely on it now. And ABB know we need it, but the way it's all set up, we can rely on it. It's brilliant.
That sounds really good. It really seems important that you've got that support from ABB, but equally as well, ABB are working with the needs that you would have as a system integrator. So it really is an excellent explanation. Martin, could you tell us about some of the projects that Firstco are involved with?
Yeah, so the first ABB project, as I said, was Luton Dart, where the client wanted an alternative manufacturer. So we've put a PLC and SCADA system in the 2 stations on the Luton Dart, monitoring all sorts of equipment. That was our first tester project for ABB. And what was important for us was that we got good engineer feedback straight away on the equipment, the documentation with it. Because we were in lockdown, we couldn't attend face-to-face training courses, so any training had to be online, which was minimal really for the first project. As we go on to this large data center that we've just commissioned a few weeks ago, much more in-depth application, way more equipment, power management. Coincidentally, was ABB switchgear, so that was great. We were reinforcing the ABB brand in the client, and we've got I won't say a dozen. We've probably got 8 or 9 engineers on that project, all working on PLC and SCADA at the same time. So those are the kind of projects we do of that kind of scale. Whereas some engineers or some systems have thousands of asset tags or of data tags on a SCADA system. We generally will have millions of tags on SCADA.
Wow.
So we're that much bigger and that much more diverse on it. So that probably means we're a bit more demanding in terms of tech support sometimes. But if it works for us, really pushing things hard in normal applications or in normal automation scenarios, it's a breeze, really. And we haven't had a situation yet where we can't do something. There's, we might need to connect things in a different way, look at it a bit differently. But we haven't had any applications yet where with the ABB system, we can't solve problems. which again is superb for us. We can't have these dead ends. We just can't get to a solution.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So some of those projects there, I can imagine that reliance on a good supplier is absolutely critical, way beyond, as you say, just supplying a product at a price, way
Yeah.
beyond that. Now, Carl, what does ABB bring to the table in this relationship?
Well, we bring quite a lot, but it was really great to get Firstco on board, as like everyone thinking, does ABB have a PLC?
Mm.
When I joined in 2009, I was thinking of that as well, to look after the PLC division. But we had. We've actually used it internal projects for ABB cranes, robotics in the early days, drives. So it's an internal product. But when we went to the market, it was late in 2010, basically, and all the other, shall we say, the bigger vendors, PLC vendors, have been there for a long time, and it's been quite hard work to try and catch these vendors up. But what we didn't want to do is actually do the same as the other vendors. We had to do something different, ABB, and work with like Martin from Firstco to actually work with them and show them the people care from ABB, and we can support. And this is the way we've got through supporting and bringing the ABB PLC to market, not just in the UK, globally, where we've got a massive support centre in Heidelberg, Germany, which supports us as well. If we can't get the critical answer for Firstco or any of our other partners, we've got the guys there in our base. But the other thing is, people are familiar now with ABB PLCs, starting to get more and more into the market. And we use an open platform called Codices. So Codices is used on some other vendors. They use on the platform. So it's open. So we can actually talk to a load more product, shall we say, than some of the bigger boys, because they just think about their own systems to talk to. So we have that, so we can start talking to a load more products, especially with our Xenon SCADA, which Firstco are using now, and the only people in the UK can support that for us. We are going a long way to have the ABB products, and the next few years we will be slowly creeping up to where we need to be.
Okay, now that's quite exciting. As you say, the PLC market is a fairly competitive arena, so it's good to see the way that ABB are approaching this and delivering it and supporting it as well. Well, listen, gentlemen, thank you both for going through how you've established this partnership. It's obvious to an observer such as myself that this has taken a lot of effort, and delivering this in the right way has been absolutely perfect. So well done to both of you on the success of what you're achieving, and obviously keep it going is the thing. Now, if you're watching this and you'd like to find out, first of all, more about Firstco, we're going to have a link so that you can check out the Firstco and what they do. And if you'd like to talk to them and talk to Martin, of course, that will enable you to do that. And likewise as well, if you'd like to talk to Carl about the PLC products and talk about how they could work with you, we'll put a link so you can make that contact. Thanks both, gentlemen, for your time, and thank you very much for watching as well. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.